Hey guys, I haven't been on my vlog for a while because I've been working on the shed over here. We added this to the back of the shop here. Just a slant roof shed that ends up being, what was it, 22 by 8. So lots of good storage in there. Our house is pretty small, so storage is pretty tight in there, but I've obviously got to paint it yet, but that's pretty much it. Paint and a little bit of trim work left, and then Gail and I ran buried drainage and replanted some hostas. There's the urinal drain tube going down underground. Don't tell the city or our neighbors that that's what that is. Anyway, that's what we've been doing for the past couple weeks, isn't it, buddy? Mm-hmm. Building a big shed. Doing the wiring on this rear end of the truck, going to the back bumper with the tail lights, brake lights, reverse lights, license plate lights, clearance lights. Working on all that right now. I'm doing all solder connections with heat shrink, and then everything will be tied up real nice and neat, of course. And hey, dude. Hi. And out of the way. Well, I got all the wiring hooked up last night. It's obviously not all tidied up. I want to test it all out before I get everything tied down and good and tight and looking good under here. I don't want anything hanging out, so trees, branches, mud, deer antlers, rhino horns, unicorn hooves, rip any of my wiring out. So I'll make sure I do a good job of that. But I haven't bought anything. This is all old wire from different wiring harnesses from different projects I've done. I try and always use the same color, and if I don't, I color code it with tape. Same with the harness material, like this Chinese handcuff stuff, or Chinese finger cuff is what I call it. That's all from old wiring harnesses. I've got some old split loom from different things. I've got this stainless steel that I've cobbed off of different things that I'm using to run wires, keep it all protected, and then I try and use the stainless convoluted tubing for where it needs to look nice. But I'm going to hook the battery up front and make sure everything's connected up there. It's only half-ass wired up front anyway, but I'm going to get it good enough to where I can test out my wiring job on the back end. Battery hooked up, and pretty much everything's working here, but one of my clearance lights, well, it's actually a brake and stop also. Got my handy dandy little snap-on test light, one of the very few snap-on tools I own, because I never did want to afford that kind of stuff. I got a lot of nice tools, but not a lot of snap-on stuff. Anyway, I'm going to probe this wire and see what's going on, if I just didn't ground it good enough or what. So yeah, it looks like it's just my ground. I got power going to it most of the way. I didn't check it right at the light, but I'm guessing my ground, I put star washers on the ground bolt that I used an eye terminal on. I can't hardly see it through there. Anyway, star washers probably didn't get through the undercoating, so I'll loosen that, scrape a little spot like I probably should have in the beginning, and I should have a good ground then. My bad. So I'm under the truck, and oh hi there.
Hi.
Just showing my family off.
Oh, hi.
Scrape some of the undercoating off. You can actually see the backside of the light lighting up right now. That's all it was. A lot of times it's something simple and kind of silly or stupid like that you overlook or just neglect to do. I neglected to scrape off that spot for a good ground. We've got flashage all the way around. These little round ones I was just going to use as tail light, but I decided maybe the cops might like it better if I had turn signal and brake on, so you can see it on the side. I hope my license plate lights are bright enough. They're just little eBay motorcycle license plate LEDs. I don't know, we'll see when it's dark out. I think they will be, but we'll just have to see. Alright, we got the reverse lights in order. I'll have to wire up my reverse light switch on the manual transmission. There was an automatic in this years ago, I guess, and it's still wired up for the automatic, so I'll wire it into the reverse switch on the tranny. Everything works, so I'll go ahead and start tidying everything up underneath. Well, there we go. Everything's tied up in pretty good shape. I got one hold down clamp I want to screw into the back side of the bumper. I'm going to do that tomorrow when the bugs aren't eating me alive. Most everything is on the respective switches. The reverse lights are hot wired right now, but I think it looks pretty cool. Turned out good. I'm happy with the LED choices I made and the way I sunk them into the bumper. I think the license plate lights are going to be plenty bright. The cargo lights underneath the toolbox just give off a romantic blue glow. They're on a switch in the cab. And toolbox open here. Put two blue LEDs in there. Another little sneak peek of things to come, the front radiator support. It's from the 90 Blazer. I've always liked that. The quad 4 headlights. I've always loved that style. Electric fans, water injection reservoir, coolant reservoir. I've got that all set up, ready to go. I can't wait to get it set in the truck. Build the top radiator mount. Modified a lot of stuff to fit the Griffin big wide aluminum, what is it, 1 1/4, 2 1/4 cores in it. Radiator, pretty pumped about that. I ran it in another truck. Then the 383 stroker sitting there waiting to be freshened up, cleaned up, ready to rip. All kinds of good stuff up here. Gonna run my grandpa's rest his soul MSD 6AL box and timing controller. I've got a brand new MSD distributor. Pretty pumped about that. I get my gear-headedness and desire for lights and gadgets from him. Got another MSD box and some different pills over here. I'll save for a rainy day for something. Gonna run cog drive, water pump, and alternator pulley. Then it's got a V groove for a V belt for power steering. I still got to get a power steering pulley for it though. I already gave a glimpse of the twin stick NP205 shifter setup. It's going to be pretty freaking sweet. I've got some custom shift knobs being made by my cuz. Stoked about that. Got a long ways to go, but I'm getting there. And here's my Sportster chopper collecting dust. I started in on it and then got a little sidetracked on another bike I built for a guy, and then got into the truck, so that's taking a back burner, but I'll be back on it soon.